traverse 130 feet long, 25 feet above a river pool. A death slide to the water, and then it's up and over a couple of scramble nets which are suspended from trees. They climb a steep bank and return to the starting point. Now, at a guess, I'd just say that the services men might have the advantage here. We've got 3 from the services.
Undoubtedly. I think the Royal Marine, Bernie Shrewsbury, who's going very well at the moment. In fact, he's in the lead. Bernie Woodward from the RAF, Phil Watkins, the Army. They're all PTIs as well, or at least 2 of them are. But the man who's going to be interesting to watch also is the wily old Peter Livesey. He's used to ropes work with his rock climbing, and he did so well in the swimming.
He has a bad ankle, but I still agree with you. He's a wily old fox. And I talked to the physiotherapist this morning, and he said, "Oh, don't worry, ice packs, ultrasonics. Livesey will be there, you know. I hope the rest of them last the course."
5. Marks. Set.
First pair away, Danny Nightingale, Olympic modern pentathlete, and making the running here, Keith Geddes of the Glenmore Outdoor Pursuit Centre in Scotland. It's expected that Keith Geddes will show Nightingale a clean pair of heels on the ropes, and he's certainly getting on with it.
Danny Nightingale, although without ropes experience, is a natural competitor, and he doesn't intend to get left too far behind in this one. And so, as they begin the main traverse, Keith Geddes has a 10 yards lead over his opponent. This section calls for grit, stamina, and above all, of course, a sense of balance.
But could it be possible that Geddes is starting to flag already? He might have blown himself out with that explosive start. Certainly the steady pace of Nightingale is keeping him in contention. In fact, he's definitely catching him. Danny, an Olympic gold medalist in the modern pentathlon, hasn't done too well in the previous 3 events, but he's earning his points in this one. Although Keith is tired, he won't give in either. A brief rest, and off he goes again. Danny's still moving well and getting plenty of encouragement.
Get down there in case I fall off, will you?
No lover of heights, Danny Nightingale should be dreading the death slide. But he seems to be in good enough humour. Keith Geddes is calling on reserves of energy in his fight with that rope. Danny Nightingale actually enjoying it now. Scotsman reaches dry land, but the Olympic athlete is well ahead now and gaining in confidence.
The second pair take to the postman's walk. Wearing number 7 is John Barry, director of the Plaza Brennan Outdoor Pursuit Centre. His opponent, Phil Watkins of the Army, gets an early advantage as Barry slips, but this should be some contest. A refreshing dip for Keith Geddes, but nothing should stop his opponent now.
Drop off, up the hill, Daddy, up the hill. Gate 5, up the hill. Well done. Well done, Daddy, that's it, keep it going.
Once he's over the brow, Danny has just one last dash for home.
Come on, come on.
He's clearly delighted to have defeated his opponent, but all the competitors are timed against the stopwatch for their overall placings. So Danny can gain valuable seconds with a fast running.
Come on, on the rock! On the rock! Tremendous!
Nice one, Danny.
I didn't know there was going to be swimming in it as well.
John Barry neck and neck with Phil Watkins. They're making good time.
Good lad, Keith. Come on, all the way in. Well done. Well done, Keith.
A good time in the end for the valiant Keith Geddes too, but he's taken his lungs almost to bursting point. Ex-commando John Barry trying to shake off army man Phil Watkins.
Mark, red.
Distance runner Bernie Woodward of the RAF, wearing number 2, versus Stuart Sherman, the surfer lifesaver. John Barry making remarkable time, but Phil Watkins, also driving himself to the limit, is only seconds slower. John Barry was commissioned in the Royal Marines some 20 years ago. He's seen active service in Borneo. An ex-boxer and rugby player, he's now a well-known figure on the extreme rock climbs of Alpine and Himalayan routes, with many first ascents to his credit.
Stuart Sherman and Bernie Woodward commence their long rope haul.
That's it, John. Push it all the way. Well done, mate. Turn it. Go, go, go. Up the hill.
Barry, knowing that Watkins is close on his tail, searches for those last ounces of energy to get him home.
And Watkins is close too. This man got his army colours in rugby, swimming and canoeing. He lists his interests as extreme versions of skiing, climbing, canoeing and parachuting.
Bernie Woodward going well, but he doesn't regard himself a favourite for this event.
So Barry finishes with the fastest time so far, 4 minutes, 21.3 seconds.
Right out of it, John. Come on, Phil, onto the rock. Run. All the way in. Come on, touch it. Oh. Well done.
A gallant effort though by Phil Watkins, who pushed John Barry to the last breath. Stuart Sherman, a Bachelor of Science, having trouble with his centrifugals.
It's amazing how quick it tires you. You haven't gone 10 yards on the rope, but no arms now.
Bernie Woodward runs 100 miles a week in training. No sense of long-distance loneliness here, though, with parched lungs and torn skin to occupy the mind. He steps off the rope with half a minute lead over Stuart Sherman.
It was a mistake to wear shorts.
I think it was a mistake to enter the bloody competition.
Now it's man and Superman. A severely swollen ankle has reduced Peter Livesey to the level of a mere mortal. His opponent, the impressive Bernie Shrewsbury, Royal Marine. Woodward's gone well ahead now as Stuart Sherman takes the first scramble net, with half the river pool still inside his tracksuit trousers.
Bernie Woodward's time, 5 minutes, 27.29 seconds. Pushed himself to the limit too.
Royal Marine Shrewsbury going smoothly, but then so was the other Bernie at this stage.
What was the story of the ropes for you, Bernie?
About the same as everyone else has told you, I bet. Absolutely shattering.
Worst part? The single run?
Oh yeah, gotta be. I mean, it just saps you for the rest of it. Simple as that. Yeah, all your upper body really. All the way, Stu.
Stuart Sherman comes in at 7 minutes 10.97 seconds. The perfect balance of Royal Marine Bernie Shrewsbury.
Yorkshireman Peter Livesey is a lecturer in sports psychology. He won't let that injury upset him, as bad as it is. As long as there are points to be won, he'll hold on.
Can you speak, Stuart?
Yeah.
Fantastic job to get right on that rope twice.
Heartbreaking to swing under it, you know. All in my mind was, if I fell off, I'd have to go to the beginning again, you know.
There've been no severe falls, in fact, and Shrewsbury's sure to finish unscathed too.
The only injury so far in the competition is that swollen ankle of Livesey's, and considering the pain he must be in, the man from Huddersfield is coping superbly.
The Marine comes home strongly, but he's only second fastest in 4 minutes 32.06 seconds.
Shrewsbury's opponent, Peter Livesey, with economy of movement, and that's the name of the game in the ropes course.
I try to think of conservation of energy and technique. That's what I could think of, really. But halfway across there, you just can't think of anything. So much pain. Very hard competition.
Here's Pete Livesey.
Yes, Pete's suffering with a very bad foot, so it's stacks of guts and determination just to run on a foot as bad as Pete's. Fantastic effort. Come on, Pete.
Come on, all the way in.
A competition it may be, but there's genuine mutual sympathy and admiration, especially for the wily old fox from Yorkshire, who has carried an injury which would have immobilised any ordinary man.
Oh, how are you feeling? Not bad.
Pleased?
No. Can't go any faster, though.
We were talking about strength going, Pete, on the rope. When did you feel yours going?
I never went fast enough for it to go properly. I just couldn't, you know, hurt him too much.
For some, there are always more important things to do than watching a tough guy win a crazy competition, even when it's your daddy and his name is John Barry.
They have my admiration. That's all I can say. It was breathtaking to watch. And when they came back to the finishing point, they were lying around heaving, panting, talking about pain and death. I must say I felt a fraud just screaming into the microphone and saying, "Tell me, what's it like to be dying in such pain?"
Yes, I know the feeling. The interesting thing is that even though John has won that event, he's only moved up one place. He and Stuart Sherman have changed places on the board there. But Bernie Shrewsbury, the Royal Marine, stays at the top, although his lead has increased by a very healthy 6 points to 29.
And so the 8 competitors in the British Meat Challenge will begin the second half of the competition with another event guaranteed to test their strength of will and stamina. They'll trek to the top of Trevon Mountain and scramble back down. Afterwards, each will swim a lake carrying a heavy tree-felling axe and chop his way through a pine log.